And the way they were jerking that carriage, I was like, the head's gonna fall off.
I knew that casket was gonna drop or something. I knew.
And it didn't happen. I was like, oh yeah, they didn't give it to us.
God.
That's not happening.
Sometimes
I didn't do that. And I was just like, wait, Helena's cousin, sister.
And I was like, this family tree is a tumbleweed.
I was like, I was trying to unravel the incest. Of Thrones, and tonight we're gonna cover episodes 2 and 3 of House of the Dragon. Episode 2 is called Rheanyera the Cruel, and episode 3 is called The Burning Mill. So we're gonna go over both of those tonight. It's a busy time of year, for both of us. So like, y'all gonna get these as they come.
But if we do miss episodes, we'll do group stuff like this too. And group them as much as we can as well. Maybe two at a time is not best to continue in general. But if we do miss one, we'll try to at least catch you up and do the second one. Do the do. I'm trying not to burp. Oh my god. I'm gonna edit this out. Excuse me. It's hot.
So the episode 2 opens up with people being like rushed out of the Red Keep. We see like the bloody bedding from Jaehaerys's crib, and there's a lot of chaos going on, and we get into Aegon's like chamber, which was Jaehaerys' room, and he's smashing up the damn like beautiful model that fucking Jaehaerys spent his whole lifetime fucking making. Right. And like, oh, we declare war.
And it's like, bro, we're already at war.
Bro, where have you been?
This is what happens. There are two people, right? There are two people vying for the throne. War were declared.
War had been done.
They've
been done call for war.
One person's son died, and your son has been. One person's son was killed accidentally, ish. He said he had regrets, and another person's son is dead, killed, murdered, beheaded. Mm-hmm. It's war is happening. This is war, literally, as like right in front of you. And I'm tired he smashed up that thing, yo. He worked mad hard on that. And it's like, yeah, you're the king. You might be able to like say somebody, like tell somebody to go do, like make it again. But do you don't have, like, do you know anybody that could fix it?
Do you have the connects, my nigga? And I don't think you do at this point. Like,
right. Nobody really likes you.
Again, he don't make no decisions around here. So I don't know what... I'm trying to make sure we don't jump ahead. Okay, yeah, great. Right. So the next scene, Otto and Alicent are like talking and trying to figure out like next steps, and like it seems to me like at this moment they have a little bit more respect for each other. Mm-hmm. And like there's a point toward the end of the scene where like she tells him like, oh, I've sinned. He's like, I don't want to hear about that. Like what's done is done. Like they reach to that point where like,
oh yeah, no, I think that's a little. I think
God is the gods is punishing us.
Yeah, she's like the gods is punishing us, and he's like for what sin? Right. And she didn't answer. And yeah, I feel like from the last, like you're saying, from the last conversation that they had, they came to a mutual understanding at the very least that they had the same goal. Right, but then also it's like Otto is doing his best to like be sensitive to the fact that like a child has been murdered, and is not trying to be his like kind of like stern, like really straight to the point self. He's trying to put a little sugar on it at least.
And it's not enough because I feel like they want like the grandfather from him and father from him now. And I'm like, y'all at war. Y'all not going to get that. You're not going to get that. And I feel like that's what they want because that's why they keep shunning his advice. Because it's sound counsel. Like, just do what he said. And then, like, Otto's just always, like, at the moment when, like, shit goes left and he's, like, gets his I told you so. He's like, the shambles! And then people, I think they have started to tune him out because of that.
But it's rude. Because it's rude and disrespectful, and it's literally making y'all lose, and it's crazy. Like, you know, of course, I don't necessarily agree with none of his tactics in terms of, like, from a human perspective. I'm more on Aegon's side. Like, I'm like, fuck out of here. Like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, like, even if I'm in a ruling position and somebody like that is my hand, somebody that I've trusted with, you know, helping me figure out what's going on, who's done this before, it's like, nah, here's what we do. Like, I know you want blood right now. Blood is gonna be had, my nigga. Like, we're gonna get there. Like, don't worry about that. Trust me, it'll be tons of blood, bro. But we got this to do right now. In fact, and look, somebody did. You know, it's anyway. All of that to say.
Actually, you made a good segue into him and Allison, Otto and Allison going to Aegon's chambers to talk to him about this, like, just, you know, public funeral plan that they've devised just now, and have his body rolling through the streets, just so the public can cling to their side, and it's not about, like, you know, creating this enmity towards Rheanyera, even letting them know that she got one up on us right away.
Right.
It's like, oh, look at this terrible thing that she's done.
It's not just the one up. It's
oh my god, baby. A child, her sister's child. Like, look at her, vicious. It's like, I'm not gonna have my child dug through the streets like a dog. And Otto has to level with him. He's like
honored, and
honored.
Like, look, this is like what you gotta do.
And like, one dead him is worth more than 1,000 knights in battle. We'll gain more people to our side by doing this than going on the attack.
He said he's done more for us, and it's so true. Like, it's so true. And it's like no one wanted to hear him say that. Like you said, we were watching it. He said, like, the quiet part out loud.
That's not the grandpa. Yeah, that's not the grandpa thing you say at all.
But, like, I mean, it is the hand to the king thing that you say.
True.
And it's not anyone's fault that you're somebody's young ass father. You know what I'm saying? Who's in a king situation besides your mother. But beyond that, and Otto too. But beyond that, like, you're here. So, like, do the thing. Like, listen to the hand. Like, he is right all the time. If y'all gonna be in this structure, this feudalist, which is essentially baby capitalism structure, if you're gonna be in this structure, then, like, and you're gonna be the ruler of this structure, then you have to work within this structure. Wait until the war is over before you start changing things. You're in a war,
right? You can't.
You have to work with the citizens you got,
and you can't have people thinking you're unhinged and fly off the cuff too. But that I think saying the quiet part out loud, as we'll see, cost Otto ultimately. But that's a little bit later on in the episode. So then, and this is all in the same couple of hours. Then Allison has to go because they're doing this like tomorrow.
Right.
You know, they don't. I guess they don't got embalming, so they can't wait. They can't wait for the funeral.
It's got to be done.
They sewn his head back on. We gotta. Sorry, wait. That was terrible. What?
It's true.
Allison has to go talk to Helena about the idea for a processional. And Helena's sharp when she wants to be. Like, she gets this clarity in, I think, her grief. I think she's sort of like, the fog has been lifted from, like, oh, this shit is, like, real. Like, somebody's mother. Like, I can't play pretend. Like, this is horrible, but also this isn't as bad as anything anyone else goes through.
Right.
And her mother's like, yeah, you're not going to be spared from grief as a queen, but you also have the right to feel it as much as anybody else. So don't think you shouldn't feel bad. Like, you just lost your fucking child.
Right.
I know how that feels. And she's like, oh.
And then she's like, oh, yeah, but we got to go do this. And then she's like, I don't want to.
She's like, I don't want to either.
We got to do it. And she's like, why? She's like,
sometimes
you got to play pretend, bitch. Like,
duty calls.
Sometimes you just got to pretend that this is what's up. And it is what it is. again, politics is what that is. You know, if you're gonna have a royal situation,
right,
people need to have their fantasies about you, and that's that.
Look what happens to Princess Di.
Period.
Candle in the wind.
Did they find the guy yet?
So we're actually headed up on that part. So Laris, talks to the guards. The guard that was with the rat catcher. They somehow they've caught him with the head, and I'm like, why would you try? Like again from the last episode, why would you try to leave through the front gate? What were you thinking? The fact that Damon wouldn't even set them up a means of escape that didn't require that is wild to me. Wild. Which when we get into that conversation, he deserves every bit of that from Rheanyera.
It's hard to believe he didn't do it on purpose at this point. You know?
But he reveals that a rat catcher, just dog.
Bruno.
Oh my god.
Room.
Is the one that helped him get into the Red Keep.
He squealed. He saw that it might be torture. It was
nigga Laris unfolded the tools and he was like, it was a rat catcher. I'm not even gonna hold you.
He was like, it was Damon. He was like, Damon Targaryen told me to do it, and he was like, I didn't do it by myself. I had a rat catcher with me. I don't know what his actual name is.
We met that night.
He's like, you're not gonna hurt me, right? And he was like,
and
Laris
then
was like.
Aegon, they hand Aegon what I first thought was a mace, and then you were like, what did you say?
A mace would be merciful.
They clubbed him.
Laris was like, was like, no, you're not. I won't hurt you. I can't speak for the king, and he came through with a fucking billy club, my nigga. And I was like, is that a billy?
It was made out of brass.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
It looked thoroughly used.
It looked extremely well fed, indeed.
So they have the processional, and things are going okay. The people are out there, and the heralds are like, look at the works of Rheanyera Targaryen. Look what she would do a child. They got this lily white child laid on the bed of flowers. So I'm just like, oh yeah, they're really giving it to the people.
Baby killer, monster.
Until the carriage that's carrying the body gets stuck in a pothole and the people get too close and Helena's artistic sensibilities get the better of her and she's like, oh no.
Was it autistic sensibilities? Okay, because I saw it as like unwashed masses are chasing me.
It could be a little bit of both, honestly. I don't think the divergency makes it any better. Oh my god, stranger danger.
They were like Queen.
And the way they were jerking that carriage, I was like, the head's gonna fall off.
I knew that casket was gonna drop or something. I knew.
And it didn't happen. I was like, oh yeah, they didn't give it to us.
God, sometimes we don't need it. And I'm glad we didn't get that one because Jesus, y'all kicked the dog the last episode. Y'all didn't have to do that.
Oh yeah, the dog. Oh wait, did we get to that yet? No, that didn't happen yet. Okay, we gotta stay.
That's coming.
And then so we cut to Dragonstone, and Rhaenyra's there with the council, and oh yeah, the guy said before we got to the guy was just like, a curse on Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Oh, yeah. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, a curse.
I was like, pay him
on the baby slayer. We was like, what? I was like, no, pay him for real. I was like, he didn't care if he was a wizard or nah. He was like, this curse is landing though. I know that. He meant that thing.
So he meant that the spit was flying.
I'm saying
the conviction.
He really meant that.
I'm like, damn. I was like, did y'all have to Palo Santo her after that?
Right. I'm like,
sure? I was like, we know you're not really this bitch.
Did y'all grab the stage? Did somebody Florida water the house? Cause holy fuck.
Oh my god.
He sent that thing. He said, "Till you do right by the crowd."
So we cut to Dragonstone, and Rheanyera's there with the council, and they're basically letting her know that word is spreading through the round that she killed Jaehaerys or had him killed or whatever it is. And they were like, why would you do this without telling us? Like, you really, and she was just like, you really think I would do that?
There's no way y'all think.
To Helena of all people? When I just lost my own child, like, y'all really think I would do that? And they were like, well, you do have a vagina, and we know how those things can be unpredictable.
They was like, it is a
like
womb.
Maybe we should just tuck you away while you let us handle things, and that would be treason, my nigga. Like, no, that's not happening. I didn't do that. And I was just like, wait, Helena's me? That's cousin, sister.
And I was like, I was like, this family tree is a tumbleweed.
I was like, I was trying to unravel the incest.
Because who fucking knows? Who knows who's anybody? Where does it start, son? Where does it start? Who is the head of the tree? We got people that are dead. You know what I'm saying? We got Aegon the Conqueror and all these people back in the day. But honestly, even before them, the incest had to be doing it.
And the names are too close, and the repeating of names. Aemon, Daemon, Aegon. I'm just like, that's very lazy, George R. Martin. You could have tried
Rhaenyra,
a little harder.
Rhaenys, Rhaena, Ray, Ruh.
And don't get me started on the dragon names now.
The dragon names are wild. The dragon names are expansive as fuck. Vhagar, Cyrax, or whatever his name is.
So in the midst of this council conversation, Rhaenyra realized, she was like, wait a minute, it was you. And she immediately pulls Daemon out. They go into her chambers, and she's just like, why the fuck would you do that? You've weakened my position. Like, oh my God, why would you do this to me? This is like the worst time. I didn't ask you to do this shit. I was mad. I wasn't gonna do nothing. I was talking.
She wanted him to catch Aemon. I mean, she
would have preferred it to be that and just that, like, because he literally asked us, so like, if they didn't catch Daemon, then what did you tell them to do?
And he was like, there was no word of a child. It's like it could have been anybody. You said you was gonna spill any of their motherfucking blood, nigga. You said any of their blood, didn't you? That child. I want the modern text version of this. I want the belly. I want like
the belly.
Yeah, like House of Dragons, but like
belly.
As belly. You know, that would be fire. It's the same story. Watch.
That's a TikTok series. We just gave it away.
Damn. Luckily, we can
tag us. Like,
right, for real.
Yeah, but for real though, because she was just like, as a child, I thought this was like a challenge and it'd be fun, but now I'm grown and like I got shit I'm trying to deal with. I don't have time for whatever this is that you're trying to do. You think I stole your throne from you? And then he got real mad.
Right. He got all in her face.
I was like, what you about to do? You don't have to do nothing. And she stood there like that too. She was like, I know you're not about to hit me. So,
period.
You can do all that.
So then he left, which I'm just like, you just want to let him leave, like,
because it was really like he was like, oh, because like your father only picked you because he knew that you wouldn't do what I would do, which is like outshine him because he was afraid of me, and he's like, he wasn't afraid of you, he couldn't trust you,
right?
And I can't trust you either.
But this is why it's like, yo, like. Somebody gotta be on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just like leave this nigga to his own devices. Like,
he real slippery though. It could probably uses way too many resources to even
try to track him.
Yeah.
You just gotta at least like, I don't know. You gotta have a man everywhere. You know what I'm saying, or something like. And she don't got that. And this is why like every time I look at it, I'm looking because I didn't read the book. And there's shit that I don't necessarily remember in Game of Thrones to be like, you know, and it was long ago to be like, what's going to happen next, to really know what's going to happen next. But I always try to deduce it. And I'm like, who's going to win? Like, Who like this doesn't? There's no like no one's gonna win. There can't be a winner. Can there? This is all no one has any leverage here. And anytime someone gains leverage, they just throw it away. They just literally like toss it to the wolves.
'Tis the Game of Thrones, my lord. 'Tis the Game of Thrones. It really is, because even future predictions, it's kind of a similar thing. So Damon leaves. He's going to Harrenhal. Okay.
Right.
Because that's what it is at this point. Okay. Rheanyera asked Baela to take Moondancer out and just like keep an eye on King's Landing. She's like, don't engage, stay off, they don't see you. But like, I just want you to keep an eye on what's going on, girl. Like, all right, no problem. So that happens. You see Damon flying off on his dragon to Harrenhal. Like, it's cool when we get to see like up close shots of like the dragons and like the detail and stuff like that. I forget his dragon name. I'll have it up here somewhere. Like what their dragons' names are. I can't remember at the moment. And then we kind of flash back to King's Landing real quick. And Aegon is coming down the stairwell, and Helena's there, going up, and like he kind of just looks at her, like she looks at him. She's clearly like still up, like upset and grieving, and he looks at her. He's with his crew, and they just pass each other. And I'm like, hug her, right? Like if that's your wife and your sister, at least have some.
That's your baby moms.
Like
y'all both lost a child today. Like, come on.
What? And a niece nephew.
And and a niece nephew, brother, cousin, uncle. Who knows? Look, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Who knows,
who
yo?
Really knows? I don't know.
Father.
And I realized that so Rheanyera and Baela finished having their conversation, and I realized that wait, she has 2 kids by Damon,
right?
And Baela kind of acting like, well, what about my father? And it's like, your father's gonna do what he's gonna do, and I'm just like, but you marry him,
cause bitch, you did. And y'all didn't get a divorce technically just now. Is that how a divorce works?
I guess.
Westeros?
Well, no, divorce is a beheading. Like, you gotta.
That's what I thought. Which is what I'm saying. You needed to cut his head off.
Or if your wife get gobbled up by a dragon.
He needed to go. He needed to get burned by dragon. He needed to get gobbled up his damn self.
Your husband gets grayscale.
Right. No, there's no way. I'm still weirded out that she just let him go on. It's like him literally trying to act on quote unquote your behalf has wrought this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna go let him just act on his own? I don't know.
Yeah,
convince a little mouseling or something to follow him and like be his like assistant or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and have that report to him. He'll probably get that nigga killed though within the first 20 minutes.
True.
So we're back at King's Landing. Excuse me. I just had pasta, y'all. And Allison about to get in the tub again.
That bitch always bathing.
She gotta keep that fresh, like that box licked as much as she like it licked. It better be clean. Okay. And she literally like once the help goes out, she literally pulls up to the door and just like asks Kristen, so did you tell anybody? And I'm like, where's that coming from? Why do you keep doing this with him?
Right. Leave him alone. Get your boss and call it a day.
Is this how you warm up? Is this foreplay?
Right. Well, we can't. We shan't.
We must.
We must.
We must. And I'm like, just stop it.
It's gonna be foreboding. You know what I'm saying? Like already. Like It is what it is. Y'all shouldn't be doing it, so you don't have to like make that part of it a thing.
We already caught, like, Helena already caught you at the end of the first episode.
Right. Everybody knows, bitch.
And I guess after that, because she closed the door and takes her bath, and it's the next day, and suddenly Kristen gets the cojones to go up to Eric.
Yeah.
Eric. Mm-hmm. And basically press him about his loyalty to the crown and what his brother's doing with Rheanyera, and like, if you didn't we wouldn't be in this position. He's like, wait, hold up. Like, oh yeah, why is your cape dirty? What's that? It's like, I'll clean it in a bit. Like, no, you'll clean it right now. Right. Like, so hold up.
Where you coming from?
Where's this energy?
So where were you last night? Oh, you didn't check the chambers? Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, this projecting he's doing just to get him to feel guilty so that he can convince him to do something that's dumb as fuck. Dumb.
And Eric wasn't having it. He was like you all up under the queen, but why doesn't the actual the queen dowager? Why doesn't the actual queen have a small protection? And he was like, you know what? You're gonna you also go kill Rheanyera. How about that?
Right. Dumb.
Like, I'm ordering you, as a matter of fact. What? Like, pretend to be your brother.
That's how you get in there.
And the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Dumbest shit I ever.
And I knew, and it happens. I was like, Otto's gonna have an aneurysm. Y'all pushing this man to the brink. He told y'all not to do nothing. He's like, we are playing the back and rallying our forces. No, nobody heard that.
Nobody cared to hear it. Or they heard him was like dumb and went and did the actual dumb thing. I can't. I feel so bad for Otto. Every time. And I would never be on his team. You know what I'm saying? I would never be on his team unless he was able to come to my side of the you know, revolutionary shit.
The headaches.
But nah.
And so over at Dragonstone, Bela is about to leave, and she sees Jacaerys, and they talk about fathers. And I'm like, are they together? Are they betrothed? Like, I was like, well, yes, I think they are. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I think your father loves us, and like your father's like da da da, and like he's like, well, tell me about my uncle, and he's like, he sung us songs and showed us like, you know, nice pictures and stuff, real gay like. And what about Sir but strong? And you know, they told him about that, and it's like, you know, that's how fathers be.
Right.
He's like, I guess. I've had a brain freeze. Like, did you take anything from that? Like, it was a real kind of Passover.
It was like, okay, we needed a break. You know what I'm saying? From the fucking emotional madness that was occurring.
Because meanwhile, down at the brothel, Aemon is pillow talking with the sex worker. Like, nobody understands how it feels to be a prince, but shunned. They made fun of me.
Have one eye. I look. They look at my one eye.
And he's mad bony. I was like, I wrote that one and I was like, oh my God, he's so...
Yeah.
So like him in the fetal position, I'm like, oh my God, he's so...
The clavicle he was serving. I was like, oh my... Ugh. It was just like neck and clav, you know?
But as per usual, the sex worker gave great advice and was just like, when princes lose their temper, it's often everyone else who suffers.
Mothers. Huh? Specifically. Said mothers who suffer, and then she said mothers who suffer, and then she said small folk like me.
Mm. And the small folk are suffering. Because the blacksmith and his wife talking about, she's like, I had to go halfway across town for a chicken today and paid 3 times as much. What we gonna do, Otis, about this rent? And these chicken prices, that was barely enough for the soup today. Like, oh, the king's gonna give it to us. She's like, you think so?
Did he ever say when?
Did he say when?
Silence. Next scene. I was like, oh shit. They're going to leave it at that. Because he damn sure didn't. Because he couldn't. He has no idea.
But the next couple of scenes are like just really giving us the temperament of the people like in Westeros. Like Alan and his brother Adam talk, and his brother's just like, the king, like the sea said, Corlys owes you. Like, use that. Like, don't act like that's nothing. Like, especially the way things are now.
Right. Saying you need to be going back out to sea, nigga, with Corlys, yo. And put me on.
Right. Excuse me.
I still want them to kiss. Corlys and the bald guy.
Stop it, because we got to see him in Rhaenys boot up.
It was cute.
Talking in the bed about the future and retiring, and I'm just like, as it was how we see later on that I was right. Like, he's gonna do no such thing. He covered him, like, he's talking all these sweet nothing. He's waiting for his boat to get ready,
right?
So he could be right out on this bitch.
She knew that. Rhaenyera's my kind of white bitch too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, excuse me, Rhaenys is my kind of white bitch. Her name is Rhaenys. You know, they knew what it was. It was like she wanted like the chocolate. But no, she's my kind of white girl. She just literally says it.
He's like, no, Zaddy, you've been doing this for such a long time.
Right? She tried to put the sweet on him and it didn't even work.
And he doing what niggas usually do, like, yeah, boo. Yeah, that's right, baby. You right. Meanwhile, better go buy shit as soon as the wax is sealed. But there's something that's gonna happen, because we see Alan looking at Baela leaving on Moon Dancer, and I was like, is Mrs. still your girl? Like, don't you want your kids to be your grandbabies to be all black?
Right.
And then we're in King's like Landing, Flea Bottom, and I'm like, what's about to happen? While we cut back here, and I'm like, oh god, this buffoon done hung the rat catchers, right, all of them,
right? All of
and
them.
now they got the one that did it, but he hung all of them. People out there crying. This one mother wailing like it was like fucking Boys in the Hood. They had to drag her out the street like, my baby. And I'm like, no. Yes, but no.
It's like I feel it.
You poison all of them in secret.
I appreciate it so much, you know. I even appreciate the forthrightness of it and doing it in front of everybody. But it's the wrong move this time. If you're not trying to break the structure, which you cannot do in this wartime. We've said it already, but if you're not trying to break the structure, which you are not in the time and place to do, you have to follow it.
Follow the rules.
But if you're gonna break them, if you're gonna set some shit up to break them, then do it.
Hard.
Killed all of them.
And couldn't wait to tell his grandfather.
Was hype.
And because Otto comes in like living. Otto was living. The way he flew through that door, he's like, what the fuck is this?
It's like,
we had them right in our grasp. We paraded your mother and your sister like prostitutes to gain the heart of the people. And it worked. And you throw it away. For what? Oh, they had to understand I'm not one to be messed with. They come for me. They come for the crap. It's not them. Now you have mothers at your door cursing your name.
Right.
This is not what we needed right now. What are you not understanding?
I will not be seen as weak. That's the only thing that he says. He said that episode 1 and saying it again episode 2.
Otto closed the door. It was like, if you listen here, you don't get your shit together. He was like, no, I'm about action. In fact, Sir Kristen has a plan just to get active, and like, I'll see the vein. I'm like, even though he's acting, I was like, he did the vein, because I was like, I know you're about to have a stroke. What plan?
Right. Then they tell him, and he's like,
we're gonna kill Rheanyera.
He's like, Otto's like,
oh my god!
What idiots have been laid in front of me?
I'm drowning in them. Oh my god!
The maroons of the morons. What is happening? He's looking around like, I can't believe that y'all would do shit like this. All y'all had to do was relax. Like, how dumb can you be? And he's going off about it or whatever, right? And trying to throw in the facts as well, you know, but it's like they not listening. And he just is like, Aegon is just like, whatever, you was the old king's hand, you ain't the hand no more. And it was, Otto was like, who's going to be the hand? So you need guidance, your young ass. You need guidance. What you talking about?
Like, I need action.
He's like,
and so Kristen is like, give it to Kristen. And he was like, on the floor, like,
chuck that shit. I was like, glad.
I thought it was gonna be Laris. I was just like, as Kristen.
Hand, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I was like, Kristen Cole. You know he fucking your mama, right? But I guess I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell y'all honestly.
He really like he's not plugged into what needs to happen.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, it's time for the bitch queen to pay the price." I'm like, she already paid the price. Savage, that what are you talking about?
Literally, if Jaharis got killed, it was out of retaliation in the first place. Y'all would have been safe if Aemon hadn't done what he did. Safer, anyway. For a longer period of time. It would have happened right then and there like that.
So Rhaenyra talks with Mysaria, and they wind up striking a deal. She was like, I'm not gonna let you go because you know too much. But I think like Rhaenyra like ultimately feels for her because she was just like a pawn. Ultimately, she's like, I made myself a consequence to powerful men. I don't want to do that again.
She's my favorite character.
And Rhaenyra winds up coming back and was like, you know what? I'll give you safe passage to Pentos. I gotta connect. It'll be all right. But like, you still on the books. Right. But you can go over there. He's like, cool, I'll go. And this is why I like her too, is like on the way to the ship, she recognizes Eric. It's not Eric. She's like, no, we just
passed him.
And like he just said, like that can't be. And she was like, guard, wait a minute.
Hold on.
And she didn't have to do that. She could have went on her merry way on the boat and was like, well, fuck you, bitch.
Right.
And
so he's strolling up in there. People not even recognize. Oh wait, are we in that scene yet?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember if can't remember if they cut to another one.
He's weaving through the castle of Dragonstone and shit.
He said, oh yeah. Somebody was like, hey, I thought you were over here. He's like, you better wake up. The enemy's afoot. I was like,
homie. I was like, it's just dumb all around, I guess.
And it's like, he was right that his other dude, that his twin was where they said he was. But to say the enemy's afoot to them was
wild. Like, you just had to take that little jab.
Right.
Because honestly, like, it wasn't a bad idea considering how just, like, apparently dumb people are. But at that point, you asked me, like, or is it the next episode you asked me more, like, who wins? No, did you ask me at the next episode? But regardless.
I'll be asking almost every episode.
But you're like, who wins this? And I'm like, technically nobody wins.
Because, like, I usually can tell. You know what I'm saying? There's usually some signs as to, like, who is going to lean toward. But, like, no one knows
who survives. Who survives?
Which to me, in a war, that's winning to some degree. But who has control is the real winner.
So yeah, the two twins end up battling out. It was like the Spider-Man. Who's Eric? like kiss her lives. The handmaiden could not wait to get out. She was like, "Oh my god, they fighting! I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, she did.
She was like, get some Lipton or whatever his name was. She was like, don't have to ask me twice, sis.
Right.
And I'm like, Renelle, why are you staying
She
in there?
She was literally just sitting there watching them.
Get out.
Homie tried to come to get him, get her. Couldn't tell who to attack.
Which one is Eric? Like, I don't know.
They over there fucking killing each other and telling each other how much they love each other and miss each other. And why would you split us apart kind of shit? And it was just like, oh my god, this is so sad.
One of them winds up getting stabbed. I think Eric winds up stabbing Eric. And again, names are too close. And then Eric kills himself because like there's always gonna be that doubt: am I the twin? And just trying to get you in a false sense of security, waiting for me to strike. I can't have that in your mind as like the person that's supposed to be your sworn protector. And he does the right thing. And kill himself.
I don't think he could have literally forced on the sword. Literally forced on the sword. And I don't think he could have lived with the fact that he killed his brother either. Right. Unalived his brother either.
Right.
Like, yo. Y'all can see I'm stressed. Like House of Dragons be having me stressed. I could barely look at the screen with all the unwashed white people for too long. The actual happenings be having my sinuses like, yo.
It'd be intense. The moments be real. Be getting real. I'm like, that's the Game of Thrones. And then after that, Otto goes to talk to Allison, and like he wants to go to Old Town and talk to her other son, Duran, and Daria, whatever his name is. I think it's Duran.
Something like that.
And she's like, okay, yeah, I think maybe if you want to go, okay, I think you should go to High Garden though. And because those are our people and rally them. Right. And I'm like, again, why don't y'all just listen to this man? Maybe he wants to go to High Garden with some like, hey, we gotta back up.
Right.
In case this shit go real left, he's on board.
Right.
Up until the end. And like, is she gonna make him go to High Garden now? Like, I'm like wondering. Or is she just gonna allow him to go? And then she's like, Father, I've sinned. I've sinned. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't want to hear about it.
Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Hold.
Allison goes in her room and see Aegon is there crying, and she looks at him and is like, sad, but presses on. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with this family? You see your son is crying, he just lost a child and is seriously fucked up. Has to fire his grandfather. And this nigga Kristen Cole is on Allison's bed. I guess waiting to stick the D. Mm-hmm. And Allison slaps him.
Twice?
Like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then they do the whole thing. I'm like, y'all fucking weird. I'm like, why every episode gotta end with y'all fucking?
Every episode so far has ended with them fucking. With
like,
the
no, we mustn't. And then we are.
I don't get it. Get in the comments if you understand the whole, we must shit. I don't get that. Like, it's not hotter. Like, the sex is not hotter because it's taboo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really weird.
Forbidden fruit.
Y'all are weird for that.
Forbidden fruit.
Y'all are weird for that. Go where you're wanted. Be open about the fact that you're wanted. Not necessarily that you gotta fucking tell everybody your business, but like, get the dick, bitch, and shut up about it. Eventually, he's gonna get sick and tired of that shit. The only reason that he's not actionably sick and tired of that shit right now, as in to do something about it, is because you're the fucking queen, bitch. You're a queen in the room, bitch. Like, that's it. Otherwise, had you know royal station, he wouldn't have eaten your box in the first place.
And he's using to climb to the heights that he normally would not have gotten to climb to.
Right.
So here we are.
He wouldn't have eaten your box in the first place, and then he would have been slapped you up by the nature of the fucking culture.
Right.
For talking to him like that.
So that's episode 2. We're gonna take a little break and then get back into episode 3.
Libras.
No, okay, we're back to talk about episode 3, The Burning Mill. And I guess it's like the mill of the Riverlands, the mill of society in Westeros. But the show starts out with the Brackens and the Blackwoods roll up on each one. The Blackwoods happen upon the Brackens out in the Riverlands, and they've had beef since forever ever. So I already knew, like, even when we see it in like Games of Thrones, the future, them niggas still don't like each other.
Right.
And they talk about later. Nobody know why. Like, don't even remember. Like, they just hate each other, and they basically end up squaring up. And it's like, one of the Bracken dudes, I think his name was Devos, was like, if you feeling froggy, jump. And nigga jumped, and he was dead, and all his men, and pretty much all the other sides too. And I was like, damn,
they got it crack-a-lacking.
Y'all repping sets, y'all throwing up for the Reds and the Greens, but I'm like, y'all supposed to like wait for commands,
right?
Like, I can't let personal be like what. But at war,
y'all are at war. It is what it is. The energy and permeation of war really spreads fast, you know. And if people already have beef, which apparently we learned later, but if people already have beef, like you say that we're at war, you know, we're at war, and there are sides that we can very naturally be on, and those sides are opposite each other. People won't take the opportunity.
I want to know how you have beef for, because this is 200 years before like GOT proper, and the way it gets explained later, they had beef for like centuries before the present time. How you have beef for like almost a millennia? Like what? And like even at that point, no one remembered what started it. I'm like, that's a lot.
For real. It's like if one of y'all, if like, I feel like every 3 generations, it's like somebody should like be like, all right, let's get together, have a drink, see if it can happen. And if y'all end up not liking each other in that moment, then the beef continues for another 3. Otherwise,
although I should be asking that question to white people, because it's not like we don't see that in the present day. But I mean, whatever.
There is that. And I guess generational trauma is still there. So whoever like wronged someone. If we believe these people have ancestors, then their ancestors be on the backs, you know.
Speaking of ancestors, they bury Eric and Eric.
So fucking tragic, yo. So sad.
Do you want to say the quote that was said that was really like the core of the scene?
Oh shit, I don't forget.
There's no worse.
Yes, fucking
Rhaenys,
fucking
Jill
for
Scott,
the win.
Sea Snake, Targaryen.
Period. No, you got it. Go ahead.
There's no war as hateful as that between kin, and no war as bloody as that between dragons. And
then walked away.
Just drops the poetry.
Cause Periana. Like, this is terrible. This is mad sad, my nigga. And y'all not acting like it's as sad as it is. And also, this is about to be crazy. And y'all not acting like it's as crazy as it's
like this is an omen.
Y'all not getting it. Please get it. And no one's getting it. No one's getting it.
No one's getting it. And, like, it gets shown more that no one's getting it in the next scene when Kristen rolls into the High Council meeting at the hand. And Aegon declares war. And they all look at him like, what?
For the third
already
time.
At? For the third time.
Declaring war.
And Kristen gets real slick in the mouth And they had to press back and check. Well, Allison was like, slow that roll. I don't know who you think you talking to.
Right. And he goes, what say you, King? It's like, bitch, I'm his bitch now. He's daddy now. I eat your box at his whim. With the incest involved. With the tumbleweed that is.
I can't stop. Why are you like this? I eat your box at the king's behest. But they really don't respect Aegon because they're like, you're not going anywhere. Riding with Kristen where? To do what? No. And even Aemon popped out of nowhere. It's like, no, Vhagar stays here. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that. walks out. Was like, don't be volunteering my dragon.
Right.
Like, we can't take the and like Alan's like, what did I say? We can't take the dragons out. Like, that's not like we start doing that. It's just dragon fighting now. Right. We need people on the ground. Now, I don't mind you going out there.
Home. You need the dragons home.
Right.
Because y'all take the dragons somewhere else that's not literally directly to Rheanyera. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all leave yourselves open with one or no dragons.
Pum pum. Dracarys. But someone that does have respect is Rheanyera, because her and Masaria, the white worm.
Which name? Oh right, yeah. We like
are I'm making a deal. She was just like, you could have left and went to Pentos. Instead, you gave us a warning, like, and you saved my life. Like, thank you. She was like, cause I like you, bitch. I actually like you. Seem like, to be. You know, got some integrity, and you know.
She's like, if these sycophants gotta be led. She's like, if these plebes gotta be led, then let them be led by somebody with some Mercer.
Mercer. She was like, don't confuse mercy for clemency.
Right.
Like, I'm trying to get it how I live. Like, that's not me being merciful. I'm just trying to say a lie, bitch. Like, and she was like, like, but I'll work for you. Like, she basically asked her to be her master of spies.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I got you.
Good move. I was like, I don't know if she's gonna be the one up like Larys, because Larys is playing the game. Playing the game.
Word.
He's playing it.
I don't know if she got some. I feel like she's got some connects on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she's got some networking on him.
I think the network that he thinks he has is hers.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Pull that cord at any time.
Right.
And he'll be like, "What the?" If that's gonna be real ugly.
Oof.
When the masters of spies go at it, like, oh, you thought you had spies? Oh, no.
So you don't got informants. You don't got assassins.
Mm-hmm. Like, these bitches are my sons, and I showed them how to do this. Rhaenyra talks to Rhaena. Yes.
See what I'm talking about?
Aemon's daughter with the Valerian girl. Her stepdaughter, about taking the boys that are still alive to Pentos.
She was like, please get them out of here.
Like, I need someone that's going to take care of them. I need you to take some dragon egg and the 2 young dragons. I know they're young, but they're going to grow. You're going to be all right.
She was like, they're just hatchlings. And then she was like, I need you to do this willingly. She said, bitch, shut up and willingly. And she said, Your Grace. Period. Get out my face.
And I think Rhaena is still holding on to, like, in my mind, to a chance that she might get Vhagar back. Because the dragon was stolen from her. She was like, I don't want to... When my mother's... Like, my mother's dragon is still out there, like, in enemy hands. Like, I don't want to... I see her point. But like duty calls.
Duty calls, and the queen said what she said.
Damon gets the Hammerhall. All scary, like literally just like I was like did you have to land the dragon like that? I'm just
of
like,
course,
you like really trying to put on the intimidation.
Yeah,
and they pretty much bowed out of me. They're like, oh yeah, like
it was like Rheanyera. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's like, all right. So what do y'all got? He was like, we don't got nothing.
Sam, he's like, we got some venison and some rice and beans. We don't got no red currant, but like it's it's something.
Cause like we don't really got nothing, but
like you trying to poison me? Like no, like what do you want us to do? And Damon's mad, confused. He's like, and I am a little suspect. I'm like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. Cause like that was easy. Like you just roll up on the dragon, but then again, like if one of my ancestors had made with their dragons what made the castle black in the first place, I would be like, oh, dragon, Rheanyera. No, you don't got to do none of that. No right. Bernie. No Dracarys. Don't right. even.
Because what are you supposed to do? And he pulled up too, like he rolled up. Like they didn't see him coming because the weather was weathering. So they didn't see him coming. So it's not like they had any chance whatsoever, actually.
They asked him about Larry, Damon asked him about their loyalty, huh? Yeah. Don't say I never did nothing for you. He's like, well, what about your loyalty? Well, Damon's like, we need the castle because it's the biggest one in the fucking round. And as a leak falls on his head, like Simon's like, well, you can see it's in need of some repair. Right. It's like, you know what? I'm like, that'll get him. Like, what about your loyalties? Like, what about Laris that's over there with the greens? And he's like, you mean Clubfoot Laris? And I was like, oh. It's like, we just owned him a long time ago.
They have to do Laris like that. I was like, they had to do my boy Laris like that at all. It came hard for him, and like it was nothing. Terrible.
It was too much. And then Kristen goes to ask Allison for her favor. Well, first he asked for a blessing. And she gives a blessing. It was a cute little prayer or whatever, like as he's going off to Harrenhal. They don't know Damon's there. And then she walks off and he's like, well, can that blessing come with a favor? From the Dowager Queen. I was like, you don't ask a bitch for her favor. Like, if she didn't give it, and she gave it to him. She was being, I was like, if you gotta ask, she didn't want to give it up. But, like, you're going to give it up because you're going to give it up. Right. And I was like, oh, God. I was like, this is foreplay to y'all. This is it's getting weird.
They're gonna soon, very, very soon, be in the middle of the town square, ass naked, just going like monkeys.
Is that the Queen Dowager with her ass, legs out, and ass off?
Is that a pure knight of the round, shirking his celibacy?
Does the king being in the hand of the king cancel that out or not?
I don't think so. He still has that armor on.
Oh, true.
And he's still rocking the cape and the cloak. So I don't know. I don't think so.
She gives him the favor, and then they cut real quick to the crows eating the rat catcher's eye, and I was like, ooh. What they mean by that? Meanwhile,
the dragon looking up at the rat catcher's like, oh my god.
Meanwhile, Dragonstone, Rhaenyra's laying it out to her council. It was like, all right, so this is the plan. Like, we got the Riverlands. Like, oh, there's beef in the Riverlands. Like, she was like, there's always beef in the Riverlands. That doesn't matter. Like, oh, we can't count on them. Like, I know that. That's why we best start looking other places as well and fortifying our places here. We should do this and do that. And then they like basically like, oh, maybe we should just go into hiding for a little while and we'll take care of it. It's like, no, treason. And like, why are you trying to like do this to me? Like, she walks off, and Rhaenys, Jill Scott, Harren, Sneeze say Targaryen comes and is like, she wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the what was the word she used? Starts with a C.
The Conqueror. Oh, no. The. Oh my God.
Conciliator.
I don't remember.
But yeah, like basically, like he brought people together. Like, you best put some respect on her name.
Period. And walked off. Again.
And her and Corliss like meet like outside, and she's again trying to sweet talk him. It's like, oh, so like, and they basically get into it about succession. Yep. Like, oh, they're taking Joffrey away and like my heir, and like, well, what about Rhaena? Like, what about Rhaena? Mm. It's like she don't know nothing about ships and dragons.
Right.
Like, and she's offended, like, oh, because she's a girl. And I'm like, I was like, I know you're not fighting over this.
Right.
Not this.
Not this old.
Not this. And I was like, y'all fighting over this because this nigga has no plans to succeed or retire from nothing.
Right.
Which she's like, I guess she's not aware of. Because, well, he's been lying. And telling her what she want to hear. And
letting her think what she want to think, yeah.
Corliss. She's going to be so mad when you get her back on that boat. They bid Rhaena and them farewell.
It was cute.
Yeah. Helena talks about Alicent, how she feels sad. And Alicent's about to go on this long diatribe about how hard it is being a strong black woman. And Helena's like, save it. I forgive you. Like, I'm a queen now too. Like, I get it. Right. Like, you did the best you had with what you had. Like, you did the best you could with what you had.
Right.
I forgive you. And that really disarms her, which I'm just like...
Because she came in there to kiss ass because she saw her getting her pussy ran through.
No, don't tell everyone mommy's little secret.
She was like, I feel really bad for Jaehaerys, but I'm more concerned about you. It's like, I forgive you, all right? Can we have a real conversation, please? That's what it gave. It's like, we haven't had a real conversation in days.
Can we talk about my clinical depression? Like, I'm not going to tell anybody you're fucking Kristen.
It looked good. It looked fun, girl. Have some more fun.
And basically, Larys tries to, like, warn Aegon. Like, well, he manipulates him because he's still dead set on going out with Kristen and Harrenhal. Mm-hmm. And Aegon basically is like, well, you might, like, while you're away, what's to stop your mother and your sister from stealing your crown? And I'm like, they're not gonna... It's like, oh, wait, no, he's dumb enough to believe... And it worked. And I was like, he's not... And it worked. He stayed his ass right there. All his homeboys like, yep. I was like, I don't want to die anywhere. Yeah. Good about you. You should stay. I didn't even think of that. Word. I'm like the game.
The Game of Thrones.
And the thing about Otto's too like no nonsense to even come at him in such a way like to kind of mind fuck him into doing something.
You don't want to have to manipulate somebody into understanding what needs to be done. That's not what anybody wants to do with their time. And not anybody who says that they love you No one wants to have to manipulate you to get what needs to be done.
Now, no one asked Lara to do that. No one really asked him to do anything. He is. Well, did he get asked him to be his master of spies then?
No. Aegon said that his father said he never had use for a master of whispers.
Mr. is right.
He said, but I'm noting that I might want one. He said, I'll talk to you later or some shit like that, you know.
And there's a gaggle of
geese.
Of Stitches and Flea Bottom. And at first I was like, oh, is this Darren? And it turns out to be Balon.
Right.
The king's other, younger brother. He's older than Daemon, but still younger than Jaehaerys.
So his father.
Huh?
Because it's so his father.
Right. And he's in the bar, talking shit about, who he is and da-da-da-da. And then all of us, they mention Aegon, and guess who strolls into the club and buys out the bar? Aegon the Slow.
The magnanimously slow.
He was like, drinks on me.
The drinks on the queen. It was like, drinks on the queen.
Gets what? Uncle peeping him. I don't even know if he knows it's his uncle. Probably not. Who can keep track with the Targaryens anyway? Uncle, cousin, sister, father, brother. But Aegon winds up getting white boy wasted and going into the champagne rooms and just opening up curtains and shit. And we realized he was trying to find Aemon.
Was it
Aemon? Yeah, Aemon. Because oh yeah, no, I know he likes this one this one sex worker. I think her name is Sharia. Da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, you know the hoes on the first name basis,
right?
And then he basically starts making fun of him. It's like, oh, this is the only woman you've ever betted, and da da da. You got so attached that first night we went here, and I thought nothing of it, and da 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 da. And I'm just like, meanwhile, Aeon's butt naked, and right. I'm like, this bitch just laying there. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
They hate each other.
And he basically gets up. We see Aemon's dick. It wasn't impressive.
No. And
people on the internet were saying it was like a piece, and he's like, no, that wasn't a piece. That was my dick. And I'm like, I
wouldn't have said that. I would have kept that to myself.
It matched the body, so I was like,
we knew that. We knew what it was. We were letting the people who said it was a piece have it. You know?
But I will admit, his sex worker boo did look worried. She's like, oh wait, no.
This is not good.
I'm charging him for the girlfriend experience. I didn't realize. Because came out and spilled tea, and I'm like,
oh, dear.
Now you gotta wind out who's gonna wind up killing you. Is the call gonna come from inside the house?
Right.
You playing too many games.
Fast and loose. By the way, if you want to see Dick, watch The Boys.
Variety is Dick. Tentacle Dick. There's a lot going on. Alicent's brother, Graydon, goes to Harrenhal with the group of them from King's Landing that's being led by Kristen Cole. And while they're out and about, Kristen is trying to stop them from going to the local bar. It's no, we gotta keep it a low profile. It's oh, we can rest tonight and go in there in the morning. And I get Chris no one can know that we're even around these parts.
Right.
And meanwhile, they're standing in a clearing. He's on a horse having this conversation, and Kristen sees there's really no cloud cover. He was like, oh, we're exposed. And just then, Baylor comes swooping in on these niggas. The way niggas run when they see Dragon, they're like, head toward the trees.
Because what can you do?
Take cover.
That she gave a fuck about the environment enough not to Dracarys them in that moment.
Right, just burn the forest.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
yeah, over here somewhere. I'll just crisp it down. But she's also not dumb. You can't, again. they said
can't uproot an ecosystem just to catch some.
Her aunt, stepmother, aunt, mother, stepmother gave Rheanyera, told her to like just observe and don't interact. So she followed orders. At least somebody's listening. But she turned around, went right back home, and was like, "Guess who I saw headed towards Harry Hall?" I was just like, they're like, Damon's already there. Damon's a fool. Right. We gotta
sit back up. Go. Yeah. This is what inbreeding gets you, white folk.
This was literally like England in like the days before they discovered they could make niggas do the work. Falling apart at the seams.
Right.
And like the council was pressuring Rheanyera to act. Mm-hmm. So it's about to pop off. Damon's in Harrenhal. He is having all these visions. Like one of them is like he sees like a young Rheanyera sewing like the baby Jaehaerys's mouth shut and like all this shit, and then like that the Blackwood's daughter, whoever that was, is telling her like you will die in this place, and it's the tree, like the tree of life, out in the north, and I'm like, this foreshadowing. I was like, I wonder if we're gonna see the tree people again. Those visions though, because he saw a lot, and I was like, I wonder is he gonna like tell somebody or like use them?
I'm sure he's gonna use them. Is he gonna interpret them well? Is he gonna use them well? I doubt he's gonna tell anyone. Who does he even have to tell at this point?
True, like who? They all done with him. So Rheanyera decides to do something, but she gonna do it her way. So she goes, talks to the White Worm, Messiah, and was like, I know you know about Allison's movements. She's like, oh, what are you trying to do? You trying to kill her, or like, what? You trying to kill her, or like what? Or kidnap her. Right. And she's like, I just want to talk to her. She's like, it'll be easier to kill her. Talk to her. She's like, all right, she be in the septum praying. That's the only place she be out. She's like, can you get me in? And she's like, bitch, asking a lot. But she does. Yes. They dress her up as one of the ladies of the sept.
As Sister Mary Clarence.
Back in the habit, Rheanyera back in the habit. La 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 la.
He taught me how
to fight and pray, because she rolls up right on Allison as she's praying. Because Allison was like the acting in the show is great because the indignance of like who the fuck is sitting next to me.
Right. She's like, bitch.
Who is that? Oh shit! And she was like, I will stab you. Like, what if I scream? She's like, right in your stomach. Be cool, or I'll kill you.
And don't worry about him. Wanna do. Yeah. That was wild. It was a good scene acting wise too.
And really just trying to like Rhaenyra's trying to find a way forward. A peaceful way forward. And Allison basically tells her it's too late for that. And then the part. The
crux.
The part, because this bitch was too busy out here strucking Grayskull dick to ever pick up a fucking book to know. She was like, okay, what did my father say when he died? Like, what did he say? Like, did he say my name? And she said, Aegon was the prince that was promised and that he would lead them. He was like, wait, what? She was like, wait, was that the words that he used, the prince that was promised? yes, like he told you the song of Fire and Ice. She's like,
the what?
She's like,
bitch, that's the story of Aegon the Conqueror.
And she was like, Aegon I'm like, you dumb bitch. This is why Otto left. This is why Otto was literally like he couldn't take it. Like if her father found the act, we have a heart attack and die. It probably wouldn't change the way his plans move because he knew that. He probably knew that.
Right.
And it was like, girl, like there was a mistake. Well, Rheanyera's like, you can fix it. She was like,
fix this.
She's like, I can't fix this.
So it's too late, bitch.
It's not.
Prepare yourself, bitch.
It's not.
It really isn't. There's plenty time.
It's not.
Smack the shit out of your son. Let him know that he is not the king. So any power that he felt like he was going to wield as king, even if he's going to pull out a saber and kill me as his mother, you don't have that power. So if you do that and Rhaenyra feels like hanging you at the gallows, then you'll be hung. And that's that. Because she is the rightful queen. I made a fucking mistake. Shut it down.
The way Alice had shit her drawers.
Yeah.
She was like, I was like, you stupid bitch. And it's not too late.
This is what I mean. It's like,
and honestly, Rhaenyra at that point when she was like, "It's too late," I would have gave her a quick. I would have jumped her.
Yeah, she would have got jumped too.
And just play and just kill. I was like, "You got to be able to whistle for your dragon or some shit."
Or it came right under that rib. The hell? Did they fuck at the end of this one? They didn't fuck at the end of this one.
No, because he was gone.
Yeah.
She sent him away. You know she gonna spread it like she gonna drop it like it's hot as soon as he get back. Mm-hmm. If he make it back.
If he make it back, it'll be episode 5, and it'll open episode 5 with them fucking.
We're gonna see if that turns out to be true. So
I'm joking, but if that shit happens, I don't want to hear shit from nobody. I don't want to hear nothing from any of y'all ever again.
Let's see if he lived, though.
Let's see if he lived.
All right. So, we're Negros of Thrones. Make sure you follow us on social media. Down here, McSykes86 on TikTok. And we got Jack Multiverse on Instagram. Make sure you follow the New Kai Tree on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, wherever you're watching this. And we'll see y'all next episode. We hope. I think. I'm not gonna promise. But Dracarys the government.
Yeah. Dragons, crackers, Game of Thrones.